first of all, fire. If there's fire, you'll hear a big alarm. There's no tests, there's nothing planned for today. If there is a fire, doors are just here. If the fire's on this side of the building, follow the staff, go through that door, and the assembly point is on that end of the building. There's an area at that end. Okay, so we're well away from the fire engine. Toilets in that corner, and there's a couple of housekeeping bits I need to do. Firstly, there is actually another meeting happening just behind this glass wall, so we need to keep the noise relatively under control. Now, I appreciate that's going to be hard, but really, please stick with it. But they won't tell us off if we're too noisy, just be careful. Secondly, photographs. Now, I know we've asked everybody whether they're happy to have their photo taken, and I know a number of you have already indicated that you're not. If you haven't already indicated that you're not, because of safeguarding issues, please can you let Natalie, who is waving now, know. The way we are going to do it is anybody who's, if there's a scenario where anyone would like to have their photo taken that hasn't consented to it, we'll make it clear when they're on the stage, and we'll ask that individual to leave the stage for any other photos to be taken. We'll make it really clear to everybody, and we ask you to respect that, please, because it's very reasonable. Now further to the end bit. I'm sure most of you understand hashtags, I don't. The hashtag is hashtag #DesignFutureLondon. Is that on Twitter or okay, and Insta, whatever that is. Sorry, I'm such an old man today. Then moving kind of swiftly on, there's a few big thank yous I wanted to say at the start. This has been a massive project for us. Jules will tell us a bit more about the project in a minute, but I wanted to say thank you to all of our volunteer judges, to our sponsors and supporters, many of whom are here today, to the teachers. You make up a very small pool of what has been a massive group of people who have gone the extra mile to make this project work, and we massively appreciate your support for this. So really what's going to happen today? Well, first of all, the Deputy Mayor is going to come and tell you a bit more about the project and what we were trying to get to here. George Clark, who I'm sure none of you have ever heard of, is then going to come and talk for a bit. And then we're going to invite each of the groups, and I think you've been asked to present 3 specific questions. We're going to invite each of the groups in turn to come up and speak. While this meeting is going on, we were trying to think of ways that we could celebrate people's success. So after each presentation, until we're allowed to cheer and do exciting things, can I ask you to wave your hands? And we really want everybody to wave their hands. We will have suitable breaks, but please don't feel that you have to only use the facilities during the break. There are drinks here. It will get warmer in here. The building's supposed to have air circulating in it, but some of you are sat in the sun. Please get drinks. Feel free to move around. And people will jump to their attention if you need anything. So just flag anybody who's wearing a pink badge down if you need anything. So, 1 minute behind time. I'm going to hand over to the Deputy Mayor to come and talk about the project. That was a really bad test. Hands, everyone. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Peter. Before I start, as intended, I just wanted to add my thanks to all the people that have been involved in this fantastic project. Obviously, I want to thank George and all the team at Moby. I want to thank all the judges that have been involved in their time. I want to thank Grimshaw's involvement. But also, the people who Peter didn't thank are all the fantastic team here at the GLA. They're not teachers, they're not academics, they don't do engaging in the next generation of planners as part of their day job. They've gone way, way beyond what would be expected of them to sort of get out there and produce this fantastic programme. So, come on, we'll break the rule just once. Come on, big round of applause for everyone who's been involved in this. Thank you very, very much. I am so pleased to be welcoming you today here to City Hall. It's the new seat of government for London and home of the Mayor of London. And most Londoners haven't had the opportunity to come here yet because it's only really just open. So you're one of the first events that has taken place here in this building. And I don't know how you came here, how you travelled here by tube, rail, coach, whatever, but as you approached here, you may have noticed beyond these immediate buildings, there's a lot of empty spaces and not much going on. And that's because you're here at the start of the transformation of the Royal Docks into a place that will, it's a place of opportunity for jobs, opportunity for leisure, and really crucially, opportunity for new homes, more homes for Londoners. So I wanted to, before we start, I just wanted to take a sort of a moment just to talk a little bit more about why we felt that running this challenge was so important. I mean, firstly, the city that we live in is really the result of the work and commitment by many of many generations of Londoners, focused on building the best community that they could, along the sort of ideas that they had at the time about what was best. And we're really keen that we make sure that the next generation of Londoners, and that's you sitting in this room, have the skills to carry that endeavour on, to carry on building the best city that we possibly can, to make sure it continues developing and maintaining its status as a world-class city. But we want it to be a world-class city of the future. So this leads me to my second point, and it's that we need to ensure that we have the workforce with the right skills to do that. I hope that undertaking this challenge, it's really whetted your appetite to be part of that future workforce, that future generation of builders who create the future London. And finally, but probably most importantly, the Mayor is absolutely committed that as we go forward as a city, no one's left behind in that future city. We need to make sure that future planners, architects, surveyors, everyone else involved in the future of the city better understands the diverse and complex needs of our mixed community here in London. To see the needs of London and Londoners through the lens of all that diverse community. And so to do that, we need to make sure that members of all those communities across London are all involved in building the environment industries, as well as making decisions about the city that they live in. And that is why you're here. That's why we want to be here today and get you involved in this challenge. And I just wanted to look at a couple of stats. More than a third of all schools in London expressed an interest in the challenge and had access and took access to the materials. Nearly 400 young people took up the opportunity to attend events facilitated by the challenge, including London Build, Homes UK, and UK Construction Week. And the challenge opened up the use of 3D models and software for schools together with training. We've had so many companies to thank for being involved in this, particularly those who have given their time and their expertise, all for free, all because they know how valuable it is to create the workforce of the future. And all this resulted in 114 submissions to the challenge. Every single one of them was absolutely amazing. Just blew us all away. Any one of them could have been picked to come here today. It would have been worth it. I have to admit, the most impressive aspect is the diversity of the submissions and the diversity of the people who were submitting them. We've got representatives of so many of London's communities involved, which can only be seen as a positive thing. And we hope that this translates into new and exciting ways to think about the future. Because it ought to be people like you that are designing and shaping this city, and people who look like you, not people who look like me, to be honest. And what you should take from all this is that the quality of your submissions was just so incredibly impressive. You should be incredibly proud to be here, and that you absolutely represent the best of what the future thinking of London. And I just want to see that grow and grow. So there are going to be opportunities later this morning for you to meet professionals involved in the sectors that you're interested in, and hopefully the jobs that you will one day go into. So I hope you take the opportunity to really grill them about what it's like to do their job, how they got into it, and more importantly, how you can do their job too in the future. So you don't want to listen to me talk all morning. I I could though about the quality of what you've done. Your interest in the city was amazing, and talk about what the future of our city needs and how you could rise to that challenge. But it gives me great pleasure now to hand over to George, who will speak a bit more about the challenge and how this morning is going to work. It gives me great pleasure to invite the stage, George.
I think we should just be clapping all morning, to be honest. It's their fault they're having a boring meeting. I think if you clap, you might wake them up from the meeting. That's very naughty, isn't it? I'm going to get in so much trouble for that, and I've only just got up to the lectern. I'm George Clark. I am a TV presenter, but first and foremost, I'm an architect. And when I was 16 years old, I managed to get a job. It was an old youth training scheme, a YTS, where you got paid the grand amount of £27.50 a week. That's how long ago it was. To go and work for an architect. But I didn't care about the money. I just loved to learn. And I wanted to be an architect from the age of 12 years old. My granddad was a builder. I've been on building sites when I was very young during school holidays. You probably can't do that now for all sorts of health and safety reasons, but I would go to building sites when I was kind of 8, 9 years old with my uncle, listening to my granddad. And I just loved the process of building. And then I realised I wanted to become a designer, to help design what those buildings would look like. And for me, at 16 years old, to be given, not just be given a job, but be given the opportunity to learn from others and gain from their knowledge and their experience, kind of blew my mind, really. To be in an office every day, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes longer, drawing buildings was my absolute dream. To then see them being built kind of blew my mind, really. And some of the things that I even drew when I was 16, 17, 18 years old, thankfully are still there today. So the way that we define our built environment, the way that we design for future, the way that manage the planet is staggeringly important. And that's why I set up Moby. I set it up 5 years ago. For one reason, really, to inspire young people. That was it. For you guys to define your future about how you want the built environment to be. So all our job is to help you. That's why we're here. That's why we do this, to help you and inspire you to define the future of what you want the built environment to be. I'm obviously biased. It's a great industry to be in. It really is. Yes, it's got its issues. Yes, it can do an awful lot better. A lot of the things that we build aren't necessarily as good as they should be. But that's why we're here, so that you can question those things. And you can say, that's unacceptable, or this is acceptable. This is what we want our future to be. Yeah, I feel a bit old now. I'm 48 years old this year. And when I was that 16-year-old trainee architect, seems like a long, long, long time ago. But I've never lost my passion for great design, and I never, ever, ever will. I'm not going to thank everybody that's been involved in the challenge that's helped put it together, because everybody's thanked them already. I want to thank you guys and girls, because you've put all this time in to work unbelievably hard. You didn't have to do it. You could have not done it. But you've all given the time and effort to do this, which means that you care. And if you care, that is staggeringly important when it comes to architecture and design, because the reason why architecture exists is for people. It's all about people. And if you care about people and you care about the built environment, you could, if you want, have a wonderful, wonderful life in this profession. So I don't care about the meeting. Can you give yourselves a massive round of applause, please, for just doing this? The format of this is that it's going to be quite quick, not to diminish its importance, but we have to be very, very quick because we want to get through as many presentations as we can for then the judges to select the winner and for the mayor to then have time to announce that winner at the end. So I'm going to introduce you to Mark Southgate, who is the Chief Executive of Moby, who's going to run through more detail about today. But thank you so much for everything that you've done, and thanks for taking part in the challenge. Take care.
Thank you, George. I'll just say my quick thank yous. Thank you to you guys for submitting some amazing schemes. These judges to my right and your left have got a real task to decide the winners, but you have put in phenomenal effort. I've been blown away. We've run a number of these challenges now, and every time it's better, and the standard is incredible, and you have to pinch yourself to remind yourselves that you are students, you are not in professional practice. So, well done to all of you, and I'll do the shaking of hands. So well done, everybody. I should introduce you to the judges, because they're the people you're going to be presenting to very shortly. So my bit is to start the intro, and then we'll get on to your presentations. So our judges are sitting to my right here. You've already met George Clark. I will ask them each to stand up. So next I've got Sakina Sheikh, who is a London Assembly member. Do you want to stand, Sakina, just so they can see you? London Assembly member and chair of the Planning and Regeneration Committee. Andy Thomas. Hi, Andy. Andy is a senior partner and architect at Grimshaw. I should have said I'm a planner, by the way, so it's not all architects. I'm a planner. I can tell you about that if you're interested at lunchtime. Then we've got Jess Wallace, who is development director at Lend-Lease, and actually Lend-Lease have got the Silo D site, so actually this is the people who will be thinking about how they build that out, and she's already told me they looked at some of your ideas already and maybe thinking about how they might incorporate some of those. Sorry, Jess, if I've stolen your thunder there. Then we've got Melissa Diaz. Thanks, Melissa. Melissa is a design management trainee with Waits Residential and also Mayor of London Fund Ambassador. So great to have Melissa on as well. And then finally, we've got Natasha. Natasha's from the Royal London Docks team. So again, looking after this area and the sites that you've been looking at. And she's a senior development director there. So that's your judges. Those are the people you're going to be presenting to. George has said we're keeping this tight, so we're keeping it very tight in terms of time scale. So we will be ruthless. We've said you have 5 minutes. You will have 5 minutes. Natalie over here will wave a card, and at the back there will wave a card. 2 minutes left, and then 1 minute left, and then somebody, probably me, will go, that's it, so you're finished. So you have your 5 minutes. We'll introduce you, bring you up to stage individually. So when you're asked to come up by one of the presenters, it'll be me, Peter, or my colleague Jerry, who I'll introduce in a second. Come up to the stage at that moment. We've got these mics. We also have handheld mics, so use whichever you feel most comfortable with. That's great. We have a clicker for you to do your slides. The most important button is the green button. It helps, it's green. That puts you forward. So just press that button whenever you want to go forward on your slides. And probably best, well, I don't know how you've arranged it, but whoever's in control, just press the green button. If there is a problem, just go red for back, sorry. But green, hopefully. That should be very straightforward. Yeah, I think that's it. I will now introduce you to Jerry, my colleague from Moby. Jerry, where is he? Here. So Jerry Ruffles is the head of education at Moby, and he is going to be introducing and inviting up the 11 to 15-year-old age group who we're going with first. So, Jerry.
I'm going to embarrass Jerry for 1 second, right? Just because you wouldn't have heard this story, but I'm going to do it really, really quickly. When I was 16, I had to go to college 1 day a week to do a BTEC in building and construction. Yeah, so I did 4 days a week in the office, 1 day a week at college. And Jerry was my tutor at college when I was 16. And that was his first day teaching as well, was with me.
You were a nervous student. I was a nervous new lecturer. And it really worries me because George has just mentioned, he was saying he's 48. God knows how old I wouldn't even think about how old I am. Anyway, great. This is just superb. I'm going to introduce the first group, the 11 to 15-year-old. This was a massive group. Over 50% of all the entries were in this age category. It was incredibly, incredibly difficult to kind of shortlist a few of you. And so we've got 6 presenting today. And a really massive thank you to the panel of judges who shortlisted you all, because it was really, really difficult. Each one of the group's students presenting will answer 3 questions during their presentation. 1, how does your entry deliver inclusive places for all Londoners in the future? How does your entry address the climate crisis? And what is the top thing you learned from doing this challenge? Right, let's get cracking. I hope you can see these screens. The sun was a bit bright on them earlier on. The first team, the clicker working? Yeah, first team to come up and present, team layout. If you would like to make your way up to the stage, please. Thank you very much. This is Tom, Michaela, Olivia, Mia, and Rafen. And they're from Highgate Wood School in Haringey. The people said, I like the parks and the way they have thought about recreation and the environment. They've restricted cars from the area in favour of bikes. And the shortlist judges said, brilliant layout and model. fantastic video, great design thinking justification, strong on their community. One of the strongest models we've had. So, here we are. Do you want to stand here? Who's going to start? Yeah, come here, come. You can go to that side or this side.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to change the slide, click on it.
Oh, okay. Shall I change the slide? Okay. Hi, my name is Michaela and I'll be talking about how our village is socially inclusive. Firstly, we have our main park, which is surrounded with offices so people can both work and take care of the children at the same time. Secondly, we have a community centre so people of all ages can do fun activities like bingo night. Finally, all of our homes have both stairs and lifts for people who can't physically walk. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Mia and I'll be talking about the inclusivity of our environment. Our eco-friendly space is extremely environmentally inclusive as we encourage our citizens to join eco-friendly clubs such as Bee Club, Litter Club and Garden Club. These clubs will be funded in the same way as our food banks by donations. Our food banks play an essential part in our community as it makes sure that everyone can eat healthily and happily. We also have homeless huts for people who can't afford to buy or rent their own home. Another reason why our space is environmentally inclusive is that there's a small space for car parks, which is a walk away from the living area. This is so our citizens' houses don't get polluted and it also makes a more quieter environment. There will also be places for people to charge their electric cars. We encourage electric cars as they are quieter and more environmentally friendly. Because we want our people to feel safe when the weathering gets more extreme, for example heat waves, we've decided for the houses and apartments to be made out of white brick. This will attract less heat in the summer, which means our citizens can spend less on fans and aircon.
Hi, my name is Rafan and I will discuss how our village is economically inclusive. By this, we mean a town in which everyone can benefit financially. Including an economically inclusive town is essential as it promotes a community where everyone is equal, regardless of gender, religion, race, or identity. Allow me to now talk about our village. Firstly, housing. Living spaces in our village are aiming to be affordable with cheap and sustainable materials. For example, for sound insulation, we aim to use fiberglass as it is sustainable and effective in keeping out loud sounds from nearby busy London City Airport. Secondly, we aim to move away from a more linear economy by taking steps in reducing food waste in our community and increasing the popularity of second-hand shops. In short, our village is economically inclusive by moving onto a circular economy.
Hello, my name is Tom, and I'm going to be answering question 2. How does our environment address the climate crisis? Firstly, we need green energy, especially in times like now, where in 2050, our average global temperature will be 1.5 degrees more due to climate crisis and burning fossil fuels. How do we solve this? Well, we'll be adding solar panels on every single house. Solar panels produce 200 to 400 watts per hour, and on the average house, you could put 10 of these, producing over 4 kilowatts of energy per hour, which is perfect to keep our economical sustainable. Secondly, the solar panels might not be able to produce enough energy for us, so we're going to be utilizing our river for tidal energy. Tidal energy will, Tidal energy can produce enough energy to power over 500 homes, which can help our economy grow faster and quicker. Finally, we'll be adding rental bikes in the center of our community to allow more freedom of riding bikes and stuff instead of using cars. People can also walk everywhere instead of having to use transport and using petrol and diesel. Thank you.
My teammates and I can agree that teamwork is a valuable skill that we've adopted throughout this challenge. Although we've had our disagreements, we were able to overcome these hurdles through communication in our weekly sessions. For example, we weren't all on the same page when it came down to deciding where our houses were placed in the master plan, but through our group voting system, we were able to come to a final decision together. Especially since pandemic, we've gained a greater appreciation of what it means to make a healthy space for all of the community to enjoy. For example, one way we have achieved this is by focusing on creating small green spaces that we have positioned around our master plan to create a safe and welcoming environment for the whole of the community to be able to access. Throughout this whole project, we've learned so much about building a layout for a village that can be environmentally, eco-friendly and socially friendly. We're so thankful for this whole experience and for everything that we were able to learn. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right, our next presenter, Kiesha. Kiesha is from the Central Foundation Girls' School in Bow. Please, no photographs during this presentation. Kiesha's model was eye-catching. The design is sustainable, renewable energy sources, and the shortlisting judges said it was an amazing model, some very, very nice hand drawings, a very strong entry.
My entry delivers inclusive places for all Londoners in the future because it's cheap and has free electricity due to solar energy and wind energy providing tons of electricity. If there's any extra energy, it will be sold to the power grid. The money will go to the community to improve the resources to build up. The money will go to the community to build up more resources for the area. My entry also has solar platforms and fresh water due to rainwater filtration. There are also daycares for working parents, libraries for studying, and allotments or greenhouses to teach the younger generation how to grow crops. My entry addresses the climate crisis by using sustainable materials such as solar panels and wind turbines. The building is made from solar glass, which reflects the sun rays but keeps the room warm. The thermal heat in the room goes through a ventilation shaft leading to the sky garden. These sustainable ways will be expensive, but it will pay its price at the end. The things that I learned during this project is the different types of sustainable materials and how we can access free abundance energy. Thank you. And these are some of my sketches.
Well done. Well done, that's great. Our third presentation is from AMA designers, Alicia, Anna, Mariam, from Sutton High School, 14-year-olds. The people said, it is an accurate and sophisticated design that is realistic and modern. The shortlisting judges said they were impressed with the hand drawings. It was very good on the master plan, sustainable transport, green energy. They have covered more of the brief than many others in the competition. So, stage is yours.
How does your entry deliver inclusive spaces for all Londoners in the future? Our entry delivers inclusive spaces for future Londoners as we have facilities for all ages, which include a playground for families and young children, an amphitheatre and a greenhouse for communal gardening to allow older age groups to get to know each other and to educate children on the importance of the environment whilst creating unity between older and younger generations. We've also included lifts in our housing units, which travel up to the communal rooftop gardens, so everywhere is easily accessible to those with disabilities. As well as this, we will have wide ramps to help wheelchair users get in and out of the lift. There will be disabled parking in both our residential and non-residential car parks to provide easy access to shops and flats themselves. Additionally, we have included paths and bridges throughout our site, which are wide enough for wheelchair users and provide a direct route from the residential flats to the green areas themselves. We wanted to ensure that our space was comfortable for all, so we decided to have gender-neutral bathroom facilities around the site. These would be separate cubicles containing a toilet and a sink, so that transgender and gender non-conforming people could feel comfortable going to the toilet in public. With large brands getting bigger and bigger, we intended to have a parade of shops focused on promoting local and small upcoming businesses. These are the various ways in which our entry delivers inclusive places for all future Londoners.
How does your entry address the climate crisis? Our entry addresses climate crisis in various ways, one of which is by incorporating as much renewable energy as possible. We have included removable solar panels that can be placed over the amphitheatre when it is not in use, as well as solar panels on the roofs of the housing blocks that would directly connect to the flats. We would also look further into energy efficiency by making sure that the housing complexes are properly insulated. We are also encouraging as much sustainable transport as possible by including bike racks and electric car charging points. These are more sustainable and, together with the additional bus stops, would integrate the site into the London transport network. Our entry addresses the climate crisis by including as much green space as possible to allow biodiversity to flourish. Our greenhouse structure behind Silo D provides an opportunity to grow plants, making our site more sustainable. The housing complex's roofs are split into 6 segments, and whilst 3 are occupied by solar panels, the other 3 would be rooftop gardens, maximising the amount of green space. We would also look further into the reduce, reuse, recycle scheme and consider developing a dedicated recycling area or system. We would also think about collecting and using rainwater where possible, for example, watering the gardens and flushing toilets. This is how our entry intends to address the climate crisis.
What is the top thing you learned from doing this challenge? The challenge really helped us to get closer and develop our team building skills. Because we did the project in our free time and only once a week at a lunchtime club, we really had to focus on time management and communication in order to meet the deadline and make sure everyone knew who needed to do what to stay on track. As well as this, we attended the London Build Expo, where we went to an interesting talk about women in construction and learnt more about the importance of diversity in the industry. We included our fascination of diversity within our site plan, which is why we came up with the idea of incorporating spaces for a diverse range of people. We also developed our CAD skills, and even though modelling using SketchUp was very frustrating at first, we managed to master the skill and found it very useful when explaining and exploring our design ideas. Initially, when we started the challenge, our aim was to be able to get a day off school and go on an interesting trip somewhere in London. However, it has also taught us to strive for our goals by creating little targets along the way, and has helped us reach this stage of the challenge, which is much further than we ever thought we'd get. This has now inspired us all to pursue careers in the industry in the future, as at first we underestimated our abilities and are very proud of how far we've come as we wish to continue along this career path.
That was great. We now come to our 4th presentation, which is Project Prasinos. If you would like to make your way to the stage, please. This is Prathika, Sumaya, Imogen Bess, Rianne, and Anastasia. They're from the Ursuline Academy in Ilford. People said this was very futuristic, echo feeling to the design. Detailed interiors and exteriors, very accessible. Really like the idea of using hydrogen in cars to save on diesel and petrol. Just a good project, but here we are. Who's got the clicker? Thank you.
Welcome. We are Project Prasinos, and we have designed a sustainable living space to bring us one step closer to a zero-emission, zero-carbon future.
Throughout history, the way we power our society has evolved immensely. Today, we're in the middle of an energy revolution, which is rapidly shifting our world to clean, renewable energy. Let's make homes, cities, and infrastructure zero carbon.
We believe that within 10 years, we need to be well on our way to a net zero carbon society, which is why we decided to collaborate with Polysolar.
With Polysolar as our collaborator, we are on a mission to create a new way to power our societies. Our buildings consist of transparent photovoltaic glass, which can turn any building surface into a power plant.
The carbon capture system is a multi-purpose mechanism, since not only does it produce electricity that powers our building, but it also acts as a heating and cooling system to maximize the use of space and functionality.
We have also added a green roof to our building. This attracts habitats and promotes biodiversity. It also maximizes air purification and contributes to the lungs of our earth.
By 2030, the government aims to reduce the amount of diesel cars, which is why we've decided to include many electric vehicle charging points.
The buildings we create today will have a large impact on our future, so we must ensure we make it as sustainable as possible. So let's build up and build green.
We have implemented as many aspects as possible into this project, such as transport. By adding electric car charging stations to our site, we have promoted electric car use, which is positive for the environment as no carbon dioxide is produced from them. This will ensure that our site has reduced air pollution. In addition, we have implemented car sharing, which will ensure that there are less cars on the road, so fewer emissions released and less congestion on our site, which will ensure we have a happy and healthy community that is accessible to all Londoners. The Royal Docks already has good transport links, such as Pontoon Dock Station, which is only an 8-minute walk away, and all of our buildings and facilities are located close together.
To make our building as accessible as possible, we have made sure to consider the perspectives of a range of different users in our Prasinos building apartment, whether that be the elderly, children, or wheelchair users. To get an insight to the specific and real needs of an ageing society, I used my grandmother as a case study. This led us to consider the integration of height-adjustable seating, a roll-in shower/wet room, and also ensured that I have considered things such as wider doorways to accommodate for wheelchair users. I was able to design these specific features using the digital CAD software of SketchUp Pro into our room layout to create a to-scale model.
As of April 4th, 2022, almost the entire global population breathes air that exceeds air quality limits and threatens their health. Therefore, it is vital that our site is fully sustainable and carbon-free, run on renewable energy alone. There are 3 technologies that will help us achieve this sustainable community: polysolar glass, a green roof, and a rainwater harvesting system.
Polysolar is a company which creates photovoltaic glass panels that can be used as a replacement for windows. These panels absorb light energy and convert it to electricity to power our buildings and our whole community. We collaborated with the CEO of the company, Hamish Watson, where we were kindly donated lots of equipment. Using this equipment, we ran multiple tests and found that the glass had an 81% yield. Although there is a higher initial investment, there is a better long-term payoff and improved cost-benefit as you're generating your own electricity using a non-fossil fuel alternative.
We have also decided to incorporate a green rooftop into our design. This is important as the Royal Docks is an urban area situated in Newham with very minimal amounts of green space. Furthermore, the Royal Docks contains a Silo D. The Silo D is a listed building, so we can't change the structure drastically. So we've added a green rooftop which promotes biodiversity and won't eradicate the history of the site. The green rooftop retains up to 90% of the precipitation and acts as a natural drainage system, as the collected rainwater can be recycled efficiently with a rainwater harvesting system.
One use of the stored rainwater is in cooling the PV glass. Doing so will maximise the power yield. To commemorate Newham's history, we have researched the origins of the Gandhi Chaplin Memorial Garden and will take measures to restore the state of the boards and maintain the greenery.
Working on this project has further ignited my passion for STEM and innovative thinking. It's allowed me to learn and improve a range of skills, including problem-solving, decision-making, communication, and teamworking. Teamworking has been a vital skill because when we started this project, we'd never worked on anything together before, and so we play to each other's strengths to deliver this project.
During this project, I have improved my 2D and 3D designing skills while developing our design. This has helped increase my confidence greatly in designing and drawing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Project Prasinos. We come to our 5th presentation. The guys from Whitgift School in South Croydon. We've got Joe, Matteo, and Olaf. They're 13 years old, and the people said about this was great repurposing of a space and excellent consideration for environmental impact. And the shortlist of judges were really impressed with their really strong master planning.
Welcome to our presentation, and this is Silo Docs. London is one of the most diverse cities. Fine. London is one of the most diverse cities in the world. More than 250 different languages are spoken here. With such diversity comes different economic situations. Because of this, the apartments in the buildings are at different price points, influenced by the size of the rooms, the view available, and other characteristics.
Accessibility is an important topic and should be addressed as much as possible. Therefore, we have taken as many measures to cater for this. The crescent behind the silo is a market intended to be the hub, the community centre of the site. It is intentionally designed to be on one level so it is wheelchair accessible. Some residents may also be in a wheelchair or have health conditions, so the apartment buildings are fitted with lifts.
In any residential area, a strong sense of community can greatly increase mental health. A stage has been set up at the end of the canal where local artists can perform and regular shows will be carried out. These shows can be anything: a gig from an upcoming band, a play performed by a theatre group, a pantomime at Christmas, or a concert by an orchestra. This will help to improve the community and give artists a platform to stand on.
Bike racks and short-term rentals have been set up so Londoners have an alternative to a car. Many Londoners already own a bike, so there will be many racks set up so they can avoid the daily hassle of taking it inside and storing it. This will also save them space inside their homes, which could be used for other things. Buying a bike can also be a large investment, so bike racks have been set up to help people who are in a worse financial situation be able to commute to work or take trips around the city.
How does our design address the climate crisis? In the UK, 43% of our energy is from fossil fuels. The UK has pledged to be net zero carbon by 2050. We will help achieve this by having most of the power used on the site come from renewable sources, which we generate in different methods throughout the site itself. On the bridge over the canal, we have decided to place tiles that generate electricity when stepped on. The windows for the apartments will be made from transparent solar panels, which will generate the power needed for the lights to come on in the rooms.
The roofs on the residential buildings will be green, covered in plants, grass and shrubs. This is to absorb carbon emissions and to provide a nice area residents will be able to relax in. It is only available to residents to make it more secluded and quieter. A question we asked ourselves was, why can't cities tomorrow look like the forests of today? With this in mind, we integrated living buildings full of various flora and fauna, and to make this work, vertical irrigation systems to support an equal relationship with nature.
Emissions from the transportation of food will make up a sizable percentage of emissions in the UK. To counter this, the area will have allotments which residents can rent out and grow their own food. Also, restaurants will be able to buy these allotments to grow vegetables and such for their own purposes. The food grown in these allotments will also be sold at the local market to help benefit the local community. Furthermore, this will provide a social hub for the residents to be there and enjoy.
30% of greenhouse emissions come from cars and lorries. If we do nothing, emissions from transport will increase exponentially due to our rising population. To stop this, we're encouraging the use of bikes at the site. As mentioned earlier, bike racks and rentals have been set up around the site. This will make it easier for residents to use their bikes and rely less on cars or taxi services. In London, a small 2% of transport is on bikes, compared to the massive 36% caused by cars. This needs to be changed, and the site will help take a small step towards a greener atmosphere.
There are outdoor gyms available to the residents and the public. These will be able to produce electricity for the site, so it benefits the environment. Also, it means that residents would not have to travel off-site by bus or car to get a workout, and would be able to reduce emissions from public and personal transport.
Well, what have we learned? I think one of the things we learned was to use the 6 R's: recycle, repair, reuse, reduce, rethink, and refuse in our design, and to optimise for sustainability, considering all areas of the design, as this will define what we build in the future.
I learned that a lot more goes into designing a building than one would originally think, looking at a picture of a design.
We have learned about time management and that you cannot spend too much time on one idea, or else you will not be able to work on other ideas.
At the start, we were puzzled as to how to integrate all our designs fairly into one master plan, and we had to work out how to compromise between all of our what we thought were brilliant ideas. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
We now come to our final presentation in this age category, London Design and Engineering UTC. And there's lots of you. I think, yes? The people said about this team was their extremely meticulous attention to detail, showed so much character, originality and passion throughout the design. It's going to transform lives. And the shortlist judges actually commented that this might just be the most beautiful master plan they'd ever seen. It's visually stunning. So, LDE UTC.
Good morning, everyone. We are London Design and Engineering UTC, and we are delighted to be here and share a snapshot of our master plan.
We have included housing for different types of people to include different types of people no matter their financial situation. Different types of housing, such as apartments, have ramps and lifts, so it's accessible to everyone. We have multiple educational locations, such as museums, theatres, and libraries, to encourage youth to socialise and learn. We have cultural places that include places of worship, and so everyone can celebrate different faiths. We have playgrounds, parks that are designed to allow accessibility. And community spaces include a boat structure, which will be on the water, to encourage people as a community to celebrate. We also want to encourage a united, diverse, and accepting community.
We are making our site accessible for everyone with easy, reachable routes, as you can see from North Woolwich Road. We are aiming to create a carbon neutral zone too, with car charge points and electric cars. Now, we know that climate change is a huge issue right now, and we're going to combat this with our public transport, which is buses, hydrogen fuel cell trains, and also bike rentals. We are also offering discount schemes for local residents, because we know that more people on public transport means less carbon emissions. We also target making our built environment approachable for everybody. For example, ramps in the buildings of our site. And I also want to talk about the bridge. As you can see, the bridge is the heart of our site, because we know how important transport is. It ties everything together. The bridge helps people travel efficiently across the docks, and they also can enjoy the view of the future. We made this accessible for everyone, especially people who can't use stairs, by adding lifts. Everyone is able to experience our bridge. Therefore, we provide a carbon-neutral future that is inclusive for everybody.
Our whole site consists of sustainable and environmentally friendly materials. For example, timber, reinforced eco-friendly concrete, cement, reinforced cement, glass, and greenery. One of our main buildings is our train station, containing a green roof benefiting insects such as bees, and most importantly, our planet. Our roof of the train station also contains a waterfall to feed our plants and be recycled to use again.
I can't just talk about myself, but as a class, we learned the importance of sustainability and how we can't ignore it. And if we do, I won't get to see my grandchildren. As a class, we also learned how to work as a team. We had a variety of different companies come in to show us different skills. For example, Stanton Williams with site analysis and TP Bennett with heritage.
Adding to what my colleague said, we were very fortunate to have a masterclass on Revit. This benefited us as we were able to get a feel of how industry standard softwares work. This helped us be more creative and develop skills such as model making for a visual representation of our master plan. Our whole class enjoyed the joint aspect of this employer-led project as it gave us an opportunity to design our future, alongside improving our other educational skills such as mathematics in regards to dimensions and English to help improve our presentations and improve our final submission. Thank you for listening.
Well, that concludes the first group of presentations. Pretty impressive. Judges are going to have their work cut out to pick some winners from that one. Mark is now going to introduce the first of the first two awards.
Yeah, so thank you to the 11, 15-year-olds. Amazing presentations from some very talented young designers and master planners. I loved your presentations. Really good presentation skills as well. Well done, guys. So a wave of hands. I think we're doing wave of hands now the meeting started, so well done, everybody. You will have seen that the standard of who's got to the finals is amazing. Actually, the standard of some of the people who didn't quite make it through to the finals was also amazing, and we didn't want that to go not recognised. So I've got a couple of awards to make now to a couple of individuals who we thought were outstanding because they were individuals. George, if you'd like to come to the stage. When I call out your name, come up. We'll do a quick photo opportunity with George. You will get a certificate and a prize, but you'll get that at the end of the day. So we'll just do a quick photo and then back down and we'll move on. So could I ask Antonia Jayasinghe and Ellen Mitchell from Bromley High School to come up, please? We've invited you on the stage because of your amazing individual effort. The amount of effort, I know the teams who've done this will realise how much the individuals had to do to get to this stage. So very well done, fantastic. Get a photo opportunity. Where's the photographer? Oh, here we go, behind me. So a big wave of hands for these two. Fantastic, well done, guys. Very well done. And then we also ran a people's vote, which was a bit of potentially a gamble, but we had 2,100 people voted for this, which was phenomenal. It really, and a lot of the quotes you've seen came from the people's vote things, or from members of the public who came along and gave their expressions of what they thought, and a lot of them thought it was great. So that you actively got the public commenting on stuff, which as a planner I know is quite difficult, so very well done. So we had 3 awards. I'm going to ask you each to come up at the same time, so you'll all have your photograph taken together with George. So in the 11 to 15 category, we have the 3-leaved clovers from the Erskine Academy in Ilford. If you want to come up, well done. And then in the 16 to 18 category, Bennett Elworthy from Graveney School Design Department, effectively. Design team. And then in the 19 to 24 category, Team Timber from the University of East London. So will you all come up to the stage and join George and have your photographs taken? Yeah, we've still got a couple more coming, George. It's going to be a squeeze. We have to do separate shots. I say, if you guys wait. Yep. And do you want to come on stage, guys? Sorry, audience, you get to see the backs of George Clark and all the winners, but it's just the way it is. Okay, now, photographs have been taken. We'll give a quick wave of hands when these guys come off, but it's time for coffee break because we're running to tight timetable. I need you back at 10:40, no later, preferably earlier. So if you can get here at 10:35, great. Grab your coffee, quick comfort break, be back at your seats, and we'll see you for the 16 to 18 category.
Well done. You did very, 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 very well. Lovely to meet you. Take care. Cheers.
the best. You can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can win the war. You can talk to God, cold banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. Some will call it practice, some will call it luck. But either way, you're going to the history book. Standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the brightest flame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile. You can walk straight through hell with a smile. You can be a hero, you can get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought would never be broke. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try? Do it for your country, do it for your name. 'Cause there's gonna be a day when you're standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the brightest flame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. On the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the brightest flame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can be the greatest, you can be the best. You can be the King Kong hanging on your chest. You can beat the world, you
Hi everybody, it's nearly 10:40, so if you can make your way back to your seats, we will kick off with the 16 to 18-year-old categories. Brilliant. Thanks everybody for being so good at getting back on time. Really appreciate that. So as I said, we move on to the 16 to 18-year-old category now. And whereas we had a lot of groups in the 11 to 15-year-olds, we've actually got quite a few individuals in this category. We've got 3 finalists. And the entries came from a range of colleges and sixth forms in London and just on the edge of London as well. And they were shortlisted by a team from Grimshaw Architects. So actually, you guys who got through to this section, you have professional architects doing the shortlisting. So you've been judged by people who know their stuff on this. So very well done in getting to the finals. And I want to say a big thank you to Krista Stamatopoulos, who was leading that for Grimshaw. Chris is waving a hand at the back there. Thank you, Krista. Maybe stand up. Big wave of hands to Krista. Thank you, Chris, for all your work. And they also did a couple of the teams here presented a Grimshaw event during Clerkenwell Design Week as well, which was amazing, and that was also packed out. So thank you, Grimshaw, for all your support here. So my first person coming up to go onto the stage is Megan Epstein-Knights from Harlow College. So Megan, if you'd like to make your way up. Brilliant, thank you, Megan. So some of you may recognise Megan because Megan actually appeared in our promo film for this when we went and interviewed some of the people who are connected with Moby. We've done work with Harlow College in the past, and she enthused about the design challenges and what they've done. So it's great to see her up on the stage at the final. The people said this entry was well put together. The design really stands out and has a flair of individuality. And the judges from Grimshaw said we thought the narrative with its emphasis on sustainability and transportation links was great. We found interesting how the residential module designs integrates into the neighbourhood surroundings and maximising green planted areas. So we'll just hear from Megan, but just before we do that, I have been hopefully reliably informed that today is Megan's 19th birthday, am I correct?
Yes.
We definitely can't sing because we've got a meeting, so we have to do a big wave of hands. We'll maybe do it later when the meeting's finished. So happy birthday, Megan, and over to you.
Okay, so in terms of designing an inclusive space for Londoners, adaptability was key. And the main way I facilitated this is through modular construction. I designed modular components which can be added on or removed to adapt over the lifetime of the building. This allows property to grow or downsize depending on the residents' lifestyle requirements and also facilitates multi-generational living. For example, by incorporating these standard-sized modules, the properties can grow from initial starter homes to 4-bed family houses without causing unnecessary disruption. I feel this is currently lacking throughout the housing sector, so I wanted to pay particular attention to this. This is particularly advantageous as it allows for disabled access. An additional modular section could be added to the ground floor of the property to create a downstairs bedroom and ensuite, which again facilitates multi-generational living and doesn't discriminate against disabilities. I was also passionate about providing residence and lifestyle options for all ages and backgrounds. In addition to the standard homes, I've designed an apartment block, studio flats, maisonettes, and a retirement complex with a communal laundry room. Not only does this provide sufficient accommodation, it also promotes socialisation, which in turn boosts morale and the overall community feel of the complex. Likewise, the shared rooftop gardens I've proposed across the maisonettes, studio flats and apartment block, in addition to the communal green spaces running through the centre of the complex, also promote a positive community feel and inclusive spaces. In relation to this, I've also proposed a self-sufficient allotment area within the complex, which will serve as a fun activity for all ages, as well as being a way of giving back to our environment. Now, in terms of climate crisis, it was vital that my designs didn't negatively contribute towards this. Firstly, using sustainable technologies and methods of construction was pivotal in my design process. I've incorporated recycled elements and materials where possible, and have chosen durable timber and steel materials which resist degradation. This, of course, saves money and reduces the amount of materials which end up in landfill. As well as this, any excess materials which are not needed for the construction of the site will not be wasted. They will be recycled and repurposed elsewhere, i.e. by building children's playground equipment or garden furniture for the site. Whilst focusing on ensuring this project is environmentally friendly, I felt really passionate about giving back to our environment. As my project involves timber cladding, I've chosen to plant trees within the site boundary as a way of replenishing what we have taken. Additionally, I've chosen local ethical suppliers in order to reduce the carbon footprint. As sustainability was so important to me, I felt passionate about incorporating a sustainable and renewable energy resource. And after considering my options, I felt solar energy was the way forward, as it significantly helps to combat the effects of global warming. Currently, there's a global issue concerning water wastage. We cannot afford to waste water unnecessarily, and therefore, after much debilitation, I decided to incorporate a sustainable urban drainage system into my designs. Overall, this project has really allowed me to expand my knowledge on sustainability, what's currently lacking throughout London homes, climate change, and environmentally friendly approaches. And it's opened my eyes to see that what we do now has a dramatic impact on our future environment and generations. With the way the world is going, we cannot afford to contribute any further towards global warming. It's vital that we take the necessary steps now to ensure an environmentally friendly future for our future generations. Throughout every part of my design and research process, this has been at the forefront of my mind, and I feel this has really allowed me to grow as a designer, which is something I'll take forward into all future projects. I've also learned to design and think in new ways. Exploring adaptability and multi-generational living was relatively new to me, but this challenge has allowed me to unlock new abilities, think outside of the box, and again, grow as a designer. I've lived both sides of the coin, from having a family home to being the child of a single-parent household with minimal income and living capacity. I feel I have a good and well-rounded understanding of residents and community needs. In my difficult times, I longed for a place like this, and now this challenge has given me the opportunity to turn that dream into a reality. This truly has been such a valuable experience for me. It's taught me that work doesn't have to feel like work when it's something you truly love and enjoy, and I feel very privileged to have had this incredible opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Excellent presentation. Thank you. So our second finalist in this category is Misty Costello from School 21, who are based in Stratford, so not very far away. Come up, Misty. The people said, School 21, we first met when we did the London Build Expo, and they came along to some of our workshops there. So it was nice to see them there, nice to see you back. Judges said master plan proposal will bring fresh air to the area. The different uses and connections create a lively space where people can move around at any time of the day and make it the place to be, is what they described it as. And the people said a most complex design, very intriguing concept. So over to you, Misty.
Hi there, my name is Misty, and I will be talking on behalf of my teammates' ideas and also my personal ideas. So beginning with the silo, we decided to create it into a community garden, which also highlights the historical values of the area. We also added a surrounding market area where the residents and even the public can enjoy the area and the silo itself. Moving on to the next area, which would be the play area, we wanted it to be an opportunity where children and families can socialize with one another and bring them closer together. So there would be smaller structures like the mushroom house, which will allow the younger kids to have fun and have a more sociable and active lifestyle. Especially since the bright colors, it will attract the children and make them very excited to play there. On the other side of the park, there would be a skate park, and this would allow the older kids to come out and play, because I feel like they don't usually have an opportunity anymore to enjoy. So we wanted to give them the privilege to have that. To target the inclusivity within the area, we wanted to make it accessible for everyone, meaning that we made all the area of flat surface, specifically for the elderly and also for those with disability. We also placed lifts within all the buildings, and there is also a bridge for quicker access, and also it's easier to move around the site. Moving back to the market, we created a food court where you can bring in the different cultures, so you also include that aspect, and it allows everyone to come together. It also teaches the future generation to be more open and welcoming, since they'll be brought up around this idea of inclusivity. To move on to the climate crisis, we wanted the community to be within walking distance and like everything to be max like 15 minutes. So this decreases the amount of cars used and other vehicles. We also added more like bike lanes to promote more the uses of like bikes and stuff to create less carbon emissions. The large amount of green spaces allows for there to be more of a natural environment whilst also absorbing the carbon emissions, as I said. The local market also allows for there to be quick access to essentials and needs for those who can't go as far. And we also added recycling bins so that there would be less litter, and it will increase the use of, I guess, sustainability. Moving on to my personal ideas, you have the snow globe, and I wanted this to be more personal. So just like a snow globe, you would usually give it as a present. In my design, I wanted it to allow to give the homage, like a gift, where people can create memories whilst living there. Either side of the building, you have where the residents would live, and they would also have their own personal balconies to enjoy. And I wanted everyone to be able to live there, from the elderly to the disabled, and young families. The globe-like structures in the middle allow for the community to come closer together whilst also enjoying the view, as it's like a dome-like shape, so you can just like walk around. And I also put like a cafe and like some seating area where all the residents can come and just like bond together. The vines on the outside of the building reinforce the greenery aspect that I wanted to incorporate. Once again, there are lifts inside, so anyone is welcome. And all the doorways have been made wider for wheelchair users. I also wanted to combine like the modern look with also the overgrown look to like create a balance within the design. And there's also rooftop gardens to reinforce the greenery and solar panels to enhance the sustainability within my design. And I made a quick model, and this is the idea of what it would be like. From this project, I was able to learn more in depth about my thoughts and like ideas about sustainability whilst creating my designs. And I was able to think about the benefit that my designs can bring to the future generations. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Misty. Excellent presentation. Thanks very much. And our final presenter and finalist in the 16 to 18 age group is, if I turn to the right page, Abar Hussain. So Abar, if you'd like to come up to the stage. Abar's also from School 21. The people said about his design, great design with clarity and clear space utilisation, and the judges from Grimshaw said that this was a very comprehensive study of the area and the precedents that inspired this proposal. The idea of elevating the residents and enhancing the ground level circulation offers a great potential for a new community and will attract visitors from adjacent neighbourhoods. So over to Abar to tell us more about it.
Good morning, my name's Abba. We talk about design. I worked along with my partner as well. So to for inclusivity, we start with the large park around the silo. And that would mainly aim for larger families, even festivals that we hold there, to making new memories along with the community. We also had to make the silo into a museum to talk about the past, because there's a lot of history behind the area with the grain and also the slave trade. I think it's important to tell people about what happened there before. Then we also decided to have more of a square with an amphitheatre in the middle, near the end of the canal. We were having like benches, the fountain, and stalls, like market stalls, so people can buy these general necessities, and then also there's another place to bring people together where they come relax as a community, rather than staying inside all day. Then we also moved towards the housing. That's what I was more focused on. I said to have different size housing would differ for elderly families and also young people, because people with different size spaces. Also, we have the clear walkways and bridges across the canal, so easy access for the elderly and also anyone with wheelchairs. So instead of traveling all the way around, they can easily cross from one side to the other. And also in each the houses, there's elevators and stairs between access for elderly, disabled, and just general people as well. If you zoom more into the housing, you see I decided to have, in the house I had for a smaller park, which was aimed for younger children. So kids can easily go out and play on their own without having to go with their parents to the larger park. So their parents can watch from the house without need to go with them. Also, having a bit of colour in between the housing breaks up that having blocks of towers. And there's also just somewhere people can just take a break from any work they're doing and just taking the fresh air as well. Here's more close up of the buildings. See, with the pillars, I had to go, instead of having these normal concrete pillars, I went for more like a natural look. So it looked more like branches, like kind of intertwining with each other. It just makes something different instead of just normal buildings, and brings color to the building as well. Also, you try to make large windows so as to bring in the most light as possible, making use of the sunlight that's there, instead of having using more natural light. And there you can see in the model, the elevator and the stairs. And also balconies that people can get fresh air from while leaving the building when they need to. Throughout this project, I've learned a lot of skills with model making and just technical drawing. But one thing that stood out to me was the research you have to do before even start designing. So knowing what's in the area, knowing what the history about the area and listed buildings at the silo. It's important to talk about what's been going on in the past. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Albert, and a big thanks to all. Should we give a big wave of hands for all three presenters on this 16 to 18 age group? I now will hand over to Peter Kemp, who's going to do the final age group. Over to you, Peter.
Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm just like any other professionals in the room should be terrified, because the quality of the work is far better than anything I ever produced, and that was as a professional. But moving kind of swiftly on to our final category, the age group was 19 to 24, and it was really interesting for us because we had a very wide range of submissions that included people from both planning, urban design, and geography. You're about to see some really, really, really astonishing work. The work that we've seen today has been outstanding, but I have to admit this really blew me away. So it was just, I'm just going to kind of go straight to the first group rather than kind of carrying on my summary. So does Emily and Cheryl want to come up? So the people said about this that it was a great design, a modern concept, friendly and comfortable feel, and improved the environment. And the judges at Grimshaw, who kindly judged this on our behalf again, absolutely enjoyed the thinking process that led to this master plan proposal, from the immediate surroundings to the opportunities the greater area has to offer, and the proposal captured everything in human scale. So, over to you.
Hi, I'm Emily, and the one next to me is Cheryl. We both form a team called Dim Sum Duo for this urban design proposal in Nemo Peninsula. Nemo Peninsula is one of the previous work sites for the new Elizabeth Line. Everyone has been so excited about the new Elizabeth Line, and I'm so excited too. And it not only enhance the overall connectivity for all Londoners and also unlock the development opportunity, whereas Limo Peninsula is definitely one of them. We see the potential of reactivating and also restitching this piece of enclosed and fragmented urban fabric and envision a high quality and vibrant neighborhood that would embrace the sustainable lifestyle and also with green energy and transport option. Like the Elizabeth line, we hope our proposal will help to unlock the social benefit to all Londoners and enable an inclusive society. We therefore envision we therefore hope to deliver more than 1,500 housing units, with 50% of them belong to affordable housing, particularly in response to the housing crisis not only at the borough level, but also in London as a whole. With the incoming population to not only our site area and also the surrounding housing development, we know that there is a need for more community space. Therefore, in our proposal, we suggest to have a residential-led mixed-use development that would optimize the land resources and also to integrate the social services within the residential building. Our proposal also features a public open space that with an intergenerational play space, fitness area, and also a river sidewalk that will provide pedestrian and also cycling connection between River Lee and also Thames Path. It will not only serve the local residents, but also all Londoners to establish a healthy and also low carbon lifestyle. As London continues to grow, we know that active travel needs to be designed into the fabric of the new development proposal. We try to adopt a healthy street approach in the design of our overall circulation and also movement plan. We are suggesting a low traffic neighborhood that put people and their health into our major design concern. And our major strategy will include having a speed limit and car-free residential street, active frontages that would help to create a safe, accessible, and also attractive street that would, with clean air and also free from any harmful emission for everybody.
So apart from transport, energy is definitely another key pillar in tackling climate change. So one thing we noticed when we are doing research is that the children and the elderly are seldom being visible in the current climate change discussion. Like, they are the most vulnerable groups to its impact, but then the role in climate actions has been rarely acknowledged by our society. So that's how we come up with the idea of a kinetic energy park by capitalizing on the technology to capture kinetic movement through energy harvesting devices. So the rationale is to create an interactive recreational spaces by providing different types of play and fitness equipment that are suitable for different users. So people can come and to explore and experience the use of kinetic energy while also being able to engage in play, exercising, and all other sorts of physical activities. So it's like the power generator will be used to power up the park itself. So it's like creating a prototype of a self-sufficient community energy system at a smaller scale, and also enabling inclusive and equitable community participation by bringing people together and nudging them to be involved in climate actions at a local level. And most importantly, the park will engage and empower the underrepresented groups, including the children, the youth, and the older people in the process. So instead of being a victim of climate issues, they can actually become a potential contributors in tackling climate changes. So apart from kinetic energy, our Limo Crescent development will also include a mix of renewable energy sources that will be stored and processed in a central community energy center. And the center itself is more than a power hub, but a local focal point for the community where people can actually come for all sorts of energy advices and resources, green education, and green exhibitions. So the center will essentially nurture people's environmental consciousness and empower the local people to pursue a more energy efficient and sustainable lifestyle. To sum up, we really enjoy a lot in the process of researching on different sustainable, innovative solutions, designing and envisioning how the site can be transformed into a pioneering sustainable neighborhood of London. One thing we learned the most in the process is to think out of the box, like to come up with different innovative yet realistic solutions, being creative, but also think of how like different possibilities can happen in the real world context. We are really glad to see London stepping up in creating neighborhoods that are genuinely sustainable in terms of environment, economic, and social aspect. And we look forward to see how the site will be like in the future, and perhaps there will be a dim sum restaurant, and we can have dim sum together, yeah, one day. So thanks for listening, and hope you all have a nice day. Thank you.
Okay, so it's me that's going to get into trouble for the clapping. Can we just be really clear? Thank you so much. Can I invite Tiffany, Natalie, Samantha, Sandy, and Josie to the stage, please? So this is a really interesting scheme that's going to be presented. The people said the Riverside Innovation Donut sounds like an interesting idea for people to get better access to the water. And then we moved on to some of the judges' comments, which was around they really enjoyed the vision and the thorough investigation that went with it. So I'm just going to hand over to you.
So good morning, I'm Natalie, and we are Team Urbanet, a group of 5 students coming from urban planning background. Josie and I will be representative today to present you our Eco Home Village design idea. In creating an inclusive neighborhood, our proposals caters for people of different incomes, household structures, physical mobilities, travel modes, age and gender, and socio-economic needs. For homes, a 40% affordable housing target shall be delivered through high-valued commercial developments along the riverside. A mix of unit sizes suitable for individuals to families up to 6 members is included in our home unit design, with dual aspects and open space on rooftops for the families. In terms of movement, we cater for the disabled by providing accessible parking space and allow flexibility of using different travel modes for people. With an emphasis on healthy streets, our proposals advocate active transport while minimizing vehicular use, for example, through shared streets and with shared bikes and scooters in a mobility hub. Regarding placemaking, we address different needs across ages and gender to create a neighborhood where a diversity of people could live, work, and play. Other than mixed use throughout, overall, the proposals include a co-working office hub, a community hub, and open space throughout, and a flexible event space serving as movie theater or skate park. We also promote social interactions in residential buildings through using deck access and the communal corridors. These strategies in combinations would contribute to the vibrancy, inclusivity in the site and make it an attractive place for residents, businesses, and workers.
Aside from the inclusive space for all Londoners, our green and open space are key to carbon offsetting and climate change adaptation. Our approach aims to achieve the goals of being cleaned, leaned, and greened. And we have chosen highlighted snapshots of our site as our demonstration from our master plan. And for example, for the themes of making place, the Eco Bites in Central Park, we have vertical and rooftop translucent solar panels at the arcade and office building providing renewable energy. Moreover, there are plenty of green roofs in the office hub for cooling. And it caters for activities such as farm to table. And meanwhile, for the Donut Valley, which connects the site with the London City Island, incorporate the concept of a floating sponge city and Moses Bridge to create a flood-resilient and also architecturally intriguing river Lee. To encourage active travel and a car-free neighborhood, our Mobi Hub offers micro-mobilities and bike rental, as well as electric car charging stations. And all the social and daily amenities should be within 15 minutes as reach from homes. In relation to the environment and energy, the Race to East Park used anaerobic digestion to convert waste to energy. In addition, portable wind turbines on the Green Bridge are able to generate green power. We aim to achieve net zero and an 85% reliance on renewable energy overall. And finally, for home design, we will use recycled building materials like bamboo or recycled metals, and we aim to reduce and reuse construction waste in order to create a sustainable home for young families. And the site has a passive solar design that achieves 70% energy coverage. And furthermore, our design includes a strategy of increasing building heights to the north to maximize sunlight and ventilation. And what we have just mentioned is just the cream of the crop, and there are more treasures for you to explore in our eco-village. With none of us having a background in architecture and limited design skills, it has been a long but rewarding journey. We heard that our city's echo through site visit, research, and learning precedent, and it helped us to develop our unique master plan and 3D modeling with an emphasis on eco-friendliness and also home provisions. And after trials and errors, finally we are at the presentation stage, telling you the story of our eco-village. And we have learned that urban planning is more than checking boxes in the brief. And ultimately, co-action among the team, mutual support, exchange of ideas and skills was key to the fruition of the project. And this is the top thing we have learned of the challenge. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And then we move on to the final presentation of this morning. Can I invite Hassan, Alina, Brittany and Mohan up? Excellent. Faces I recognise from another event. So the people said the epitome of contemporary sustainable village, promoting walkability and cycling, a crucial aspect for master planning. And then the judges also praised the proposal because it was of its modular approach. So I shall hand over to you.
So hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Alina, this is Mohan, Brittany, and Hussein. And we are so honored and excited to be here. So as you can see, we are not from London, so that's why to create an inclusive space for all over, it was really especially important for us. In our proposal, we keep in mind that land is an issue in London. So we propose a growing village which can grow and expand as height as well as density. The option to add or subtract units provides the opportunity to adapt our proposal to all needs and all people's needs and environment. Different combinations of wall terraces and canopies can provide a huge range of final outcomes. As London goes through changes, Green Wharf intends to grow and change along with it. As it develops, Green Wharf can provide from 200 to 650 living units with a wide range of housing schemes such as private living and co-living. And all of them can be bought or rented. And of course, all the spaces in the proposal project are accessible.
Green Wharf is not just about growing food, but it's about growing community and living space, playground for children, gym, and event spaces. It's combined create the area that is inclusive to all Londoners. The hope is to socially condense the area by bringing together new residents with long-term residents. We have some prototype ready over there. Through urban farming, Green Wharf provides marketplaces and workshops that suppose the idea of circular economy. Residents can grow and sell their vegetables by themselves. This creates part-time employment within the farm. And local production at aquaponic vertical farm, which is 3,750 square meter, which produces 14 tons of fruits and vegetables per month. And along with this, gym as an alternative source of energy, residents can play a key role in sustaining their community as well as addressing the climate change. Yeah.
So to address the climate change, we are proposing reuse of steel pipes and a prefabrication strategy. So it would reduce the emission of carbon during this process significantly. And the prefabrication of the partitions, walls, the joints, and the steel pipes, it can be done off-site. So it would save time, energy, and water on site during the construction process. And keeping a friendly neighborhood in mind, we are proposing our streets to be pedestrian-oriented with limited vehicular access. And obviously, we have dedicated facilities for the disabled. And we are also providing a bicycle pathway which goes around the site, which would connect to the broader bicycle network of the city. So it would encourage more people to come into this site, and it would enhance the social aspect of the community. And these strategies would make Green Wharf a more energy efficient and sustainable housing scheme for future Londoners. Yeah.
We learned so much of this project, it was hard to answer this with a concise answer. But for us, it started at UEL with the STEAM project. We originally worked with over 400 students and tutors where we had the opportunity to lead groups of 20 to 30 students with different backgrounds like civil engineering, fine arts, cybersecurity, graphic design, and interior design. With so many different backgrounds, gave everyone the opportunity to contribute several different ideas. So through this, we learned a lot on how to pick through those and pick the best ones and work together and listen to each other to create the best outcome. And as Lena said, we're not from London, so a big part of this was learning about the area, especially being right down the road from UEL. We learned that if you give to London, the city will give back to you. We learned what it means to be a Londoner and about Londoners themselves. And so that's part of Green Wharf. We wanted to be able to give back to the city in a sustainable way and with a community. And if you give back to the area, it will give back to you, and people will invest in it if we invest in it as well. So our intention with Green Wharf is to bring life to the area and to help it keep growing on more than just an economic level, but with the community as well. We had so much fun doing this, and we learned a lot. So thank you to everyone who brought us here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm willing to take the risk because I think they've stopped taking evidence now and there. So I think we should actually have a really good clap. So thank you, everyone. And that's when my P45 arrives. But oh well. Anyway, so before we go any further, I want to introduce two people to the stage. So the first one's Natalie Wells, who's been doing most of the project management behind it. Do you want to go and stand there a second? Who will come and tell you a lot more about what's going to happen over lunch. And then Machelle, who's here to introduce our networking time. So Machelle is I don't actually know your job title, but Machelle works for our professional body, the Royal Town Planning Institute, and is promoting equality and diversity in the built environment. So over to Natalie first.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie. I've been project managing the challenge, so I'm very much back of house, so this is a bit weird being up here. Thank you ever so much for all these wonderful presentations today. It really rewards all of our hard work and your hard work, so thank you ever so much. I've got the really exciting bit because I'm going to talk about food and drink. So we're going to have a lunch break shortly, and you've all heard we're going to be doing some speed networking, which Machelle is going to talk about in a second. I'm just going to tell you where to pick up your lunch. There's a big bench at the back. The younger two age groups, 11 to 15, 16 to 18, you can have some lunch bags put out there. So if you just pop along and pick up one of those, that would be great. And then all of our speed networkers, the 19 to 24 age group, there's going to be a buffet lunch over here as well. And there's lots of drinks around the room, so please do help yourself and enjoy. But we'll be brought out in a little while because we're unbelievably early. I've been panicking all week that we were going to overrun, and we haven't, so it's amazing. So well done for keeping to time. Do take some time to enjoy the amazing models that everyone's brought in, and also talk to each other, talk about your experience on the challenge. So just to introduce Machelle. Machelle's going to tell you a little bit about speed networking.
Thanks, Natalie. Afternoon, everybody. What a pleasure to be here. Amazing work, absolutely incredible. I don't know if they're allowed another round of applause, but I think you should all give yourselves one. It's quite incredible. So Natalie's mentioned lunch, but we make you work for lunch. That's how these things work. And so the speed networking comes next. That means you've all been sitting since 9. You're going to have to stand up. And then you have to find some of the old-looking people around the room who've got little blue badges on. And those blue badges will say, talk to me about planning or architecture or quantity surveying or data or a whole range of other types of professions. Please find those people. Have a word with them about their job. I think you guys have got lists of questions that you can ask. Please ask them all of those questions, and they'll give you a lovely little sticker at the end. I don't have a blue badge, but you can come and talk to me if you really want to. My job is equality, diversity, inclusion at the Royal Town Planning Institute, and I'm happy to talk to anybody about what that means and what that might mean in the built environment. And then I will call you all back for lunch. I don't think I've missed anything, have I, Natalie?
No, while you're networking, lunch will just be brought out.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
we've
I'll make an
we've got until
announcement.
1 o'clock. So make the most of the time with the professionals. So and enjoy.
Thank you. Right, so it's on your feet now and move around. Your health and well-being requires exercise.
Sun is shining in the sky. Black holes and revelations. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. Everything you do, yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you. All the things you do. And it was called yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what the things have done. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know I love you so. You know I love you so. I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 'Cause you were all yellow. I drew a line, I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss. I want something just like this. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale best. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Stole a key, took a car downtown where the lost boys meet. Took a car downtown and took what they offered me to set me free. Saw the lights go down at the end of the scene. Saw the lights go down and standing in front of me. In my scarecrow dream, when Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest, you can beat the world, you can win the war, you can talk to God, go banging on the door, you can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock, you can move a mountain, you can break rocks, someone call it practice, someone call it luck, but either way you're going through the history book, standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the first flame, and the world's gonna know your name, and you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile. You can be a hero, you can get the gold, breaking all the records the club will never be broke. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try? Do it for your country, do it for your name. There's gonna be a day when you're standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the first flame, and the world's gonna know your name, and you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame.
Hi everyone, sorry to interrupt, you're all really busy networking, but we've got some food. So we've got food, packed lunches at the back. They're labelled, there's halal chicken and there's vegetarian this end. And then we've got a sandwich buffet just down here, and there's a menu if anyone has any dietary requirements. So please help yourselves.
Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the first flame. And the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong hanging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can win the war. May you have auspiciousness and causes of success. May you have the confidence to always do your best. May you take no effort in your being generous, sharing what you can, nothing more, nothing less. May you know the meaning of the word happiness. May you always lead from the beating in your chest. May you be treated like an esteemed guest. May you get to rest, may you catch your breath. May the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa, may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa, well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'd be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. May you be as fascinating as a slap bracelet. May you keep the chaos and the clutter off your desk. May you have unquestionable health and less stress. Having no possessions, though immeasurable wealth. May you get a gold star on your next test. May your educated guesses always be correct. And may you win prizes shining like diamonds. May you really own it each moment to the next. May the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Whoa, may the road less paved be the road that you follow. Whoa, well, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without you. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it all. I want you to have it. I want you to have it all. Oh, I want you to have it all. All you can imagine. Oh, no matter what your path is, if you believe it, then anything can happen. Go, go, go. Raise your glasses. Go, go, go. You can have it. I told you, here's to the hearts that you're gonna break. Here's to the lives that you're gonna change. Here's to the infinite possible ways to love you. I want you to have it. Here's to the good times we're gonna have. You don't need money, you got a free pass. Here's to the fact that I'll be sad without a glow. Shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room. There's space to rent in this town. You're out of luck. And the reason that you had to care, the traffic is stuck. And you're not moving anywhere. You thought you found a friend to take you out of this place. Someone you could lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. So let it get away on the road. You got no destination in the mind. In a maze of imagination, love is done. Even if that doesn't ring true, you've been all over, and it's been all over you. It's a beautiful day. So let it get away. It's a beautiful day. Touch me, take me to that other place. Teach me, no, I'm not a hopeless case. See the world in green and blue. See China right in front of you. See the canyons broken by cloud. See the tuna fleets clearing the sea out. See the bedroom fires at night. See the oil fields at first light. And see the bird with a leaf in her mouth. After the flood, all the colors came out. It was a beautiful day. So let it get away. Beautiful day. Touch me. Take me to that other place. Release me. I know I'm not a hopeless case. What you don't have, you don't need it now. What you don't know, you can feel it somehow. What you don't have, you don't need it now. Don't need it now. Was a beautiful day. the stars, look how they shine for you. Everything you do, yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do, and it was called Yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know I love you so. You know I love you so. I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 'Cause you were all yellow. I drew a line, I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know, for you I bleed myself dry. For you I bleed myself dry.
Hi, everybody. It's not time yet. 5-minute warning. So if you can be back in 5 minutes, that'll be perfect. Thanks very much. Hi, everybody. In the spirit of how we've run things today, it's now your 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes before you reassemble and sit down, and we will have George and the Mayor doing the presentations of the runners-up and the winners of all the 3 age groups.
Hello. Right. Welcome back, everybody. How was that? How was the lunch? Was it good? Lunch is the most important part of all of these events. So I hope that was okay. Yes? Any thumbs up or hands no? Yeah, good. How did you find the networking? Who filled up all their, who got all their stickers? Let's see if we can get the Mayor of London to give you a prize if you filled up all your thing. No? Peter, no prizes for the win? No. All right. But did everybody fill theirs up? Was it good? Excellent. Does anybody want to shout out anything that they thought was the most interesting thing somebody said? I know nobody spoke to me, so because there's never anything interesting from me. But did anybody find anything really interesting on their little walk around? No? Look at that. They all filled their stickers up, but it wasn't interesting. Oh, no. Nobody, there was nothing anybody said that they thought was really interesting? Go on. It's important to communicate. That was really useful in a silent room. It's important to communicate. Thank you so much. Anybody else? How transport works in the Royal Docks, did you say? How does it work in the Royal Docks? So I think there was a bit of communication in there, right? And actually a really particular type of communication, which is engaging and asking communities, getting them involved in what you're doing. Did anybody else get that from anybody else? I guess not. Okay, never mind. I think now you get to not hear me talk anymore, but you do get somebody really important, the second most important person in the room, which is the Deputy Mayor for Regeneration and Planning, Mr. Jules Pipe. Jules, are you coming up? Here he is. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Thanks very much, Michelle. I was hoping to see the mayor, at least in the room, before I started talking, because otherwise I'm going to finish talking and then there's going to be a gap. And someone then might ask me to sing. And then I will pass that to Peter, who says he's tone deaf, so it'll have to be a comedy song. I don't know. I'm looking over in the distance there for like someone waving at me saying, the mayor's about to come in. Anyway, he's not there, so let's hope he's going to turn up in a moment. What we can do, though, is I just want to reprise some of the thanks that I gave earlier. This has been a fantastic team effort with so many people contributing. Again, I want to thank the judges. George and the team at Moby have been absolutely fantastic. I hope you found it really valuable doing it this way, working with us at the GLA and all of you. I also want to thank the Mayor's Fund for London as well, without whom it wouldn't have been possible. As I said, I mentioned the GLA team, that this wasn't part of their core day job. Doing all this and all the work that's gone into it, people have been doing it in their spare time. And giving up weekends and evenings to make it happen. And there's one person in particular who has been giving an awful lot of time to this. Natalie, you're looking the wrong way. Come over here onto the stage. A big round of applause for Natalie Wells, please. Keep it going, keep it going.
Anything. And as you know, I'm normally back of house, so I haven't prepared anything to say. It's an absolute delight and honour to receive this. Thank you ever so much. What's been most important to me through this whole project is actually this event and seeing all of you guys making the most of the challenge, networking with future professionals about your future careers. I wish you all the luck. I can't believe how much talent's in the room. So well done to you all. And you need to give yourselves a big round of applause. So, thanks. And you better enter next year.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Natalie. Well deserved. As I say, it couldn't have happened without Natalie and also the team that worked with her. So shortly, the Mayor and George are going to be announcing the awards. It's the moment, that we've been building up to through all the incredible work you've been doing over recent months, and also the terrific presentations you made today. And those terrific presentations were terrific in two ways. One, the content was fantastic. Each time I've been through this room, people have been telling me how brilliant the content was. But also, the actual presentation that you actually made today in the room was absolutely, all of them were absolutely incredible. Again and again, people were saying, I couldn't at that age have stood up in front of a picture and just talked about it to a big room of people. So again, on two counts, both the content of what you shared with us, but also the way you shared it was absolutely fantastic. So once again, big, and remember, you can make as much noise as you like now, so give yourselves a big round of applause. So it's been suggested that we have a brief 2-minute break, and we'll be back after this intermission. Yeah. 2-minute break, staying seated. Thank you very much. Be back shortly. I'm back. Thank you very much for your patience. After that short intermission, we're carrying on where we left off. We finally arrived at the big moment. I think what we've seen today, you're all worthy winners, but it is a competition. And so on that note, it gives me great pleasure to hand over to George Clark and the Mayor of London to announce the winners. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
I'll go over there.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry I'm a bit late. I was late in my previous meeting. It's fantastic to be able to join you. And first and foremost, congratulations on making it through to the final of this brand new competition. It's great to also have a chance to welcome you to the new City Hall. As design experts yourself, I'm sure you've been impressed with the location and the building. It's basically as good as you get for as good as it gets for a City Hall building. And for those of you who have been watching at 9 o'clock every night, forget Love Island. I mean, you've got here Tenerife on the Thames. I mean, we've got stunning views. We've got great weather. There's open water swimming over there. There is water skiing over there. And behind there, believe it or not, there's a small beach as well. What else do you want for your summer holidays? But on a serious note, can I begin by thanking my Deputy Mayor for planning Jules Pipe and the wonderful George Clark for their commitment to design future London. Also to all the teachers and the work that they've done with George, Jules and my team for all their passion and hard work, which has already helped make this challenge such a success. So let's raise the roof, giving them all a round of applause, please. Now, some of you will know this, some of you won't, but when I first stood to be the Mayor of London, I wanted to ensure that all young Londoners had the chance to fulfil their potential and have the same opportunities that I had growing up in London. I was raised on a council estate, and I went from there to being Mayor of the greatest city in the world. And that's basically what this composition is about. It's intended to provide you with a platform to showcase your talent, to make connections, and to gain the skills and the know-how to pursue exciting careers in what we call the built environment and in London's built environment. And in fact, building a better London for everyone, a city that's fairer, that's safer, that's greener, and that's more prosperous for all communities is so important. We need our design, we need our development, we need our construction sectors to be truly representative of our city's incredible diversity. And we need a clear focus, in my view, on delivering sustainable transport solutions, building more affordable housing, and tackling the climate emergency at the same time as supporting great design, promoting healthier communities, and ensuring London continues to be the best place in the world to live, work, and play. And this is where you and your ideas come in, because your energy and your imaginations can help us picture and realize this together so we can have a brighter, more equal, and more environmentally friendly future. So I want to end my short words by saying thank you. Thank you for taking part in this competition. Thank you for thinking deeply about the future of our city. And even if you don't win today, you should be really proud of your efforts and your contributions to this really important debate. I know the judges were just blown away by the standard of the entries, and with so many inspirational designs put forward. I'm afraid, though, they had to whittle it down, though, to a few winners. And by the way, why don't we show our judges our appreciation by a big round of applause as well. Okay, so are we ready for me to announce some winners? I'm going to go the first one with George's permission. So are you ready? Yes. Come on. Listen, there's more noise in one of those Downing Street parties, right? Yeah. No, we're not breaking any laws here. There's no red wine on the walls. There's no karaoke. So, are you ready? Yes. Right. So, without further ado, I can announce that the winner of the special award for collaborative creativity is, drum rolls, it's Year 10 London Design and Engineering UTC. Come on the stage, come on. Congratulations, well done. Come this way. The right way up, the right way outside, the way up. Sure. No, you're fine. You come this way, come this way. Squeeze right in when you see that. Everyone's smiling. Nobody is. Yeah, okay, let's do this. That's lovely, Anthony. Thank you. One more. That's important one. Is that your teacher? Yes. Happy with that? Just check, there's no refunds. Brilliant, thank you. Got it.
Can we give a round of applause to the Mayor, just for even being here and helping put this event on today? As you know, the collaboration between the Mayor and the office and everybody else in Royal Docks has been absolutely fantastic to make this happen. We're going to jump straight on to the runners-up, not commended. We've got 3 runners-up, obviously, because we've got 3 categories. So I'll do the runners-up, and then the Mayor will announce the 3 winners from each one of those categories. So for the 11 to 15-year-old age group, the runner-up is Kaisha from the Central Foundation Girls' School. Come on up to the stage.
Come on, let's use your phone.
In the 16 to 18-year-old age group, not 8. We do those as well, by the way.
George has been to a Downing Street party, so he's a bit...
That would never happen. 16 to 18-year-old age group, the runner-up is Megan from Harlow College. And as we know, it's Megan's birthday today. Come on, big round of applause. Now we have the 19 to 24-year-old plus age group. This was really tough for the judges. Unbelievable. I mean, it's all been tough today to judge any of them, but this one was so close, I cannot tell you. This was actually one of my absolute favourite schemes of the day, and they made me laugh a lot. They also made me very hungry, because they are called, the runners-up are the Dim Sum Duo from University College London. So they're the 3 runners-up in the 3 categories. Now back to the Mayor to announce the winners.
Well, so before I announce the winners, let's show some love to the wonderful George Clark, please. Come on. So this is a true story. So about 3 years ago at the Oscars, the person who came on the stage to announce the winning film, he read it out, and they came on the stage and they realised they gave him the wrong envelope. He got it wrong. It's a true story. So I've checked with George. I've got the correct winners, haven't I, George? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. It's a true story. If you get a chance, look it up. It's really bad. It's really bad. So the winner, I'm going to announce 3 winners. The first will come up once I've announced them. So the winner of the 11 to 15 age group is...
Drum roll, come on. This was a big one.
It's Project Prosino's The Ursuline Academy, Ilford! Come on. Makes you happy. You happy? So the next winner, so we've had 11 to 15, and the winner of the 16 to 18 age group is Misty Costello from School 21. Okay, the last winner is the 19 to 24 plus age group, and I'm really, really pleased to announce the winners from University College London. It's Urban Let. Come on, don't be shy. Come on, Andy. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Team endeavour.
Brilliant. That wraps up for me one of the greatest design challenges I've been involved in, certainly what Moby's been involved in. I'm unbelievably proud of everyone that's been here today. You should be proud of yourselves. The amount of work that you guys have put in, guys and girls have put in to make this happen. You've done this in your own time. And I find that staggering with everything else that everyone's been through with COVID and all the restrictions and all the pressures that you've been under. To actually put in your own time away from everything else that you've got going on in your lives to step up and do this design challenge is off the scale. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of it. Big thank you to the Mayor. He's a very busy man. He's got more meetings to go to. Thank you to him and all of his staff, every single one of his staff, all of the team that have been involved in this. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for being part of this event today.
Brilliant, brilliant. I would have gone, but thank you very much.
Safe trip home, everyone.
Come on, Jake.
We should probably be lower.
Okay, yeah, look at your bit, that's lovely. Keep that, hold that for me. That's lovely. Done, thank you.
Don't go anywhere. Stop, 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 stop. Let the Mayor escape, and then Mark's going to give us instructions about prizes.
Yes, I wasn't quite expecting that, but that's fine. I know where they are. So we have prizes for you. Everybody's got an individual prize, and there's some envelopes. They are in. Where are they now, Natalie? In room. No, they're over there. Yeah. Yeah, so they're down there. You can collect them on the way out. There is a book or a book token that you can individually choose. And then there's some envelopes for, depending on whether you're runners-up, winner, etc. And everybody who entered is highly commended. So if you've made it to the finals, you'll get a highly commended certificate. Have to say, we had to choose winners, but all of you have been absolutely phenomenal. It's been a brilliant effort. I am, to the more experienced and older of us, which includes me, have said how hopeful we are that your generation is coming through with such brilliant ideas and that London's got a really bright future with you guys coming up with those ideas. So if you want to have individual photographs with any people around, please do. But otherwise, as you go out, you'll find the prizes there and they're down on there. So congratulations. A big round of applause to everybody and for doing such a great job.
Well, I should come in the office at some point. If you want me to have a drink or something like that. Just very informal. Just give me a phone.
Stop.